doing?
Morning.
Morning.
Where did you think you made your biggest strides this past season?
This past season, for sure, play knowledge. That definitely helps you play faster. Definitely my body, just maturing one more year, taking another year in the offseason program, and I'd say my leadership role.
I feel like a lot of people brought up the fact that maybe you, came out of your shell or just developed as a leader. When did that happen, and what do you sort of attribute it to?
Yes, sir. I think that just doing a couple of years and seeing leaders come before me, kind of like Robert Hunt, Kevin Dotson, those guys, knowing where I needed to be senior year and what kind of role I needed to take in the room, and just talking with coaches and stuff like that, and just maturing as well.
When Kevin Dotson went to the NFL and had success right away, that kind of show you like, okay, I can do that too?
Absolutely. I talk with Kevin and Rob all the time. They give me tips and just how they handle things, and I got to see that for three years. So, absolutely.
Have you met with the Steelers at all?
Briefly, informal interviews and stuff like that.
What would it be like to tackle first Kevin again?
Oh, it'd be incredible. I'd love to go meet up with him up there in Pittsburgh.
And both those guys have, switched positions and moved around a little bit too. I know you've sort of played both sides. Has there been more talk about left tackle, right tackle? A little, I don't know. What have teams sort of been talking about?
Yeah, they definitely want versatility. That's definitely on the table. They've asked me kind of what's comfortable, but at the end of the day, it's what they want you to play, and you're gonna perform.
What is switching like? Like, I know people say it's sort of like everything's backward and your footwork is a little bit off. Did it take you a while to kind of get comfortable when you switch back? Or?
There's a little awkwardness to it.
Yeah.
You're switching your whole balance and stuff like that, but once you get used to it, it's no big deal. You can take the same principles on that side and apply them to that side, and then be fine.
Max,
Do you feel like you fit a specific scheme, so whether it's zone or power, do you feel like one of those is best fit for you, or that maybe even you like the most?
Yeah, running zone scheme in college, all 4 years is definitely what I'm most comfortable in, but doesn't mean I might not be the best at power. I think whatever I can try. I think zone is what I'm comfortable with, but definitely think there might be another scheme that might fit my game better. This past year, number 31 from App State gave me fits. He was a twitchy guy, real high motor. I think he was one of the best assaults this year.
Max, like you talked about Robert Hunt and Kevin Dotson. Can you speak to the Cajuns and how the offensive line on the program has grown with 2 offensive linemen drafted in the past 2 years?
Oh man, coming in 2018 with Billy Napier, Coach Rob Sale, and the rest of the staff. There's just incredible coaches, incredible culture that they built in such a quick amount of time. They just demanded the most out of you, and we did that. We got up every day, did the work, did our off-season program, and just developed.
Now, you talked about the off-season program and working on your body. What was done differently in this off-season pass than the previous years?
Not much. Just staying the nose on the grindstone, and I guess having the extra year of experience. Every year you learn a little bit more what you need to do and how to do it at a more efficient level. So I think it was just another year of getting after it.
Star level quality. I know you've seen that quality at times before, but what did you take away from that week and some of the pass rushes you faced down there?
Definitely that I could play at the next level. I think it was awesome to be able to go out there and get that early sense of maybe what the next level might be like. Just facing the best of the best in the country, I guess. Definitely boosted my confidence, showed me kind of what I needed to work on a little bit more, and gave me some early insight on what to look for.
Was it like your anchor on some of those plays? Or, I don't know, like what was the biggest thing that that you sort of felt like you needed to work on there?
At that level, it's just a speed adjustment. Everybody's bigger, faster, stronger. It was the same thing going into college. You just have to get used to that level. The talent is rich, so just technique, knowing what to do so you can play faster.
I think I read where you were pulled off the practice field for contact tracing. Is that right?
Yes, sir. That was back in 2020.
Yeah. Can you tell me what that was like for you? I mean, that had to be a weird experience.
Oh, it was frustrating to say the least. Never tested positive for COVID. To be pulled off, on I think it was a Wednesday, right in the middle of prep, in the thick of practice, was definitely frustrating. And to spend 2 weeks in isolation, even though I felt fine, was quite frustrating to say the least.
Never been through anything like that?
No. I mean, you've been sick before, but you'd have your mom or your grandmother come take care of you, something like that. And to have nobody, but you feel fine. It was just kind of, I felt guilty almost in a sense of just having to stay alone, really. Took a big step after freshman year and started having the picture down the road of that I could definitely do this. Senior year, it kind of became a reality when agents started calling you and you started reading about yourself a little bit, but it's surreal still, just being here.
How do you like the mindset in the situation becomes a lot of reality for you? Where it was, okay, maybe I have to focus on what I'm eating and just showing.
Not really for me. Even freshman year, I'd get there and just try to work my ass off, really. I mean, it didn't really change the preparation for me, but definitely changed, I guess I'd say, how I approached every, game or season like that. I think gave me a little more motivation factor instead of okay, this is just my college career. It's I have a bigger something to work for, in that sense.
Did you sign, remind me of the timing of it, had Coach Napier just gotten there and then you signed after that, or had you already committed, or what was it?
No, sir. He got there in the spring of 2018 and I signed or he got there spring of, the fall before I got there.
And you hadn't been recruited by
No,
them
sir.
before? Okay, so did they have some insight on you, or how did you remember, how did you guys come together, I guess?
Well, Coach Rob Sale was from my hometown,
Okay.
went to my high school, and so he was recruiting the area, and I guess took a peek at me.
Yeah, okay. Very cool.
Talk about your time working with Kevin Dotson during his time at Lafayette, and just kind of the relationship you have with each other, both on the football field and off the football field too.
Yeah, Kevin's great. I mean, I love messing with him. Super cool guy. I think, I was the only freshman traveling that first year I was on the squad. And so he was kind of more of a mentor to me. But off the field, we'd go eat, with the offensive line or our center, Shane Vallot, he'd cook or something like that. So we're just buddies, really,
Have you talked to the Pittsburgh Steelers who Dotson plays for in a formal meeting, or do you anticipate talking to them this week?
Just informally.
Okay, sounds good.
What have you been working on since the end of the season?
Since the end of the season, left January to go train at Sports Academy with Duke Manyweather and the guys up in Frisco. And we just worked a little differently than my college, different muscle groups, my base, digging into the numbers on where I need to improve, really. Just the areas of improvement, I'd say.
What are you doing this week? Are you doing the bench and the 40 and everything? Or
Won't be benching. Going to do that pro day on April 4th.
do you have how important, I guess, do you feel like the 40 is for you, or the athletic drills are for you as a tackle?
I don't see it as a problem. I'd see it. I'd be just fine.
Max, I know he didn't leave till you left, but when I asked about Coach Napier, just what kind of coach Florida's getting, what you like, you probably know him better than anybody I could ask, I would think.
Yeah. So you just want my opinion on?
Yeah, just what kind of coach he was for you.
Yes, sir. He was a man builder. Just insane amount of character. Taught me how to take notes very diligently. He has notes from 2015 and just documented it. It's crazy. But he furthered me as a man, I'd say. And just fantastic coach, super intelligent. Just everything I could ask for. Will always be a Cajun. Lafayette definitely has a special place in my heart, and I'm never going to leave Cajun country.